Okay, so once that initial, oh, do you need to talk about this as well? Hey, I'm Amber. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, then welcome. You might hear Kai a little bit in the background of this. One of the things that I think can hold people back from cloth diapering is the fact that you have to wash them instead of just throwing them away like with disposables. I've actually found this to be really easy and not inconvenient at all. So today I am going to take you through step by step with me as I go through the whole process of washing my diapers so you can see exactly how simple it is. But before we get into that, let's talk really quick about how I store my dirty cloth diapers, because I know that this is another one that maybe is a little bit concerning for people because no one wants to have just like nasty, stinky diapers just hanging around in their home. And this is something that I just spent like hours mulling over while I was figuring out the logistics of cloth diapering, because I wanted it to be convenient. I didn't want it to take up a lot of space, but more than anything, I wanted to make sure that it didn't just allow like the smell of pee and poo to like ooze into my home. I went back and forth between a couple different storage methods. I landed on using wet bags as opposed to an actual physical container. One, because wet bags don't take up a lot of space. I actually have mine hanging on the back of a door. And two, because they are super easy to clean. The beautiful thing with a wet bag is that you can just throw it in the wash with your cloth diapers every 2 or 3 days. I looked at a lot of different containers, but the main issue I have with containers is that if you want to clean those out, you have to do it separately, like you would actually need to wipe it down. The second problem I have is that a lot of storage containers are made of plastic, and plastic can actually absorb odors and start to stink on its own. And lastly, I found that a ton of containers require you to have either a reusable or a disposable bag inside already. So all three of those just made choosing just a wet bag so much easier. So this is the wet bag that I use. I believe it comes in a 2-pack. I initially did not do that. I purchased one and then a second one, but you definitely want to have two, because when you throw this one in with your dirty diapers, you want to have another one ready to go for the diapers that you're using while your dirty ones are being washed. And I will link everything that I mentioned below in the description box. This wet bag has been super great. The size is perfect because it's only going to hold diapers for about 2 to 3 days tops. I find that by the 3rd day, this is almost full, which actually is perfect because you don't want to go more than 3 days in between your washes. I've also found that this holds in the smell super, super good. I have almost no issues with smell. Now, the thing to remember here is that if you wait a long time to wash your diapers, it is going to start to smell, but that is going to be true with disposables as well. If you have like a crap ton of disposable diapers just sitting in a diaper genie or a trash can or whatever, at some point it is going to start to ooze a little bit. So for the most part, I notice no smell. I will start to notice on the 3rd day a very, very slight smell, but I wash my diapers every 3 days. So I don't find that to be a big deal because they only start to stink a little bit right when I'm going to wash them. So that's not a big deal for me. Otherwise, I don't notice any smell at all, except for when you open it, of course. I also keep this hanging on the back of the door in the bathroom. I've seen some people keep these in their baby's room. I don't really love the idea of that. Like, I personally feel like diapers should stay in the toilet area because keeping it in a room just seems a little bit nasty to me, even though, like I said, they don't really smell. Right now we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so we have this in our bathroom, but we're actually about to move into a 2-bedroom. So when that happens, we'll just put this in the bathroom that will be right next to Kai's room. That is all I have for you about storing the dirty diapers. There's really not that much to it, and it's not that much different than storing dirty disposables. So let's just get right into the washing routine. My diapers are all Grovia brand, and on their website they have a little washing instruction sheet That's what I've followed. It is really, really simple, and so far it's been very effective. I've never had issues with my diapers not coming clean or with them like stinking while they're clean. I like to start with a quick cold rinse. The cycle that I use is only like 30 or 40 minutes. You don't have to do this step, but I like to just because it reduces the chances of staining, and I think it just like helps rinse away a little bit of the pee so that when you run the full wash cycle, they just get like a little extra clean. This is another reason I like to use the wet bag, because you can just roll the bag back and then just dump your diapers right into the washing machine. I like to wait to add my wet bag until I run the full cycle. Next, I throw in agitators. If your washing machine has an agitator that's built in, then you obviously don't need these, but if it doesn't, these are really good to have because they're just going to essentially like pound the fabric and make sure that all of the extra like gunk and grime really comes off of there. It probably goes without saying, but I do not add soap for this rinse. Okay, so once that initial rinse is complete, I throw in my wet bag, I turn it inside out. We also have a bidet, so these are the little wipes that we use to like pat ourselves dry, so I just combine this with the diapers. And then soap. I use Rockin' Green. This one is specific for dirty diapers. This has worked great so far. I love it because it's like a little bit of a cleaner brand. I know that a lot of people use this spreadsheet. I think it's from Fluff Love University, and you can look up the type of soap you use, and on there it'll tell you like how good it is for cloth diapers. I did look at that before I started cloth diapering, and it said that Rockin' Green is not great because it doesn't have enzymes, but this does have enzymes, so I actually don't use that spreadsheet as a resource at all. I know that you don't necessarily need enzymes in the detergent that you use for your cloth diapers, but it can help them just get a little bit more clean because the enzymes are going to help break down the pee and poo. I do a little bit of a heaping scoop because in Arizona the water is super hard, so adding a little extra soap can help with that. I wash my diapers on warm. I know some people think that hotter means cleaner, but that's really not the case. Hot water is not going to be great for the longevity of the diapers because it's going to wear out the elastic in the shells a lot faster. So what's actually more important is the length of your cycle. You want to find the longest cycle length that you can. So for me, I have it on normal setting, heavy soil, high spin, warm water, and an extra rinse. If your washing machine has an extra rinse option, definitely use that. Otherwise, if it doesn't, you can always just run an extra rinse and spin when the cycle is complete. Once the wash cycle is complete, I throw the wet bag, the inserts, and the little bidet wipes into the dryer. I've found that these Grovia inserts in particular dry best if I turn them inside out, and I usually end up running a dry cycle for like 2 or 3 cycles. You can actually put the agitators in the dryer as well. I've never done this before, but last night when I was making my notes for this video, I was like, wait, why not? So I'm going to try that today. So while these are drying on low, I hang dry the shells as well as any inserts that have a stain on them. In this case, that didn't happen. And with the Grovia No Prep soaker pads, which is what I use for the most part during the day, I almost never get stains. But if you do get a stain on anything, just popping it out in the sun does wonders. Like, it is crazy how well the sun gets rid of a stain. Okay, so I did just 2 dry cycles, and that seems to be enough with the agitators in there, so I think I'll definitely do that more often. These inserts, I always just go ahead and hang up with the shells because they're just like slightly damp, and I have to snap these into the shells anyway. These are for my nighttime diapers, and then I have a couple all-in-ones also, so I just leave those with the shells, and then I will leave those overnight and assemble those in the morning. But these inserts and the little wipes, I will fold and put away tonight. Okay, so it is the next morning. I just put the shells away. I like to leave those out overnight just to make sure that they are super dry. and that is my really easy cloth diaper washing routine. So I won't need to wash them for another 3 days starting from yesterday. So I hope that this was helpful. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you are having a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.